What's up, y'all? We back at it. We just got the second episode of Sakamoto Days, and this episode is just as good as the first one. I don't know how people can hate on this series, man. This is really enjoyable. But one thing I will say, I'm pretty sure the rating for this wasn't rated M. And the stuff we got in this episode was a bit raw. I feel like if someone kid was to watch this episode, they might be a little traumatized, especially what happens with this mafia group here. So in this episode, we get introduced to Lou. She's being pursued by assassins in the mafia. They're trying to acquire her parents' treasure. She got the key to a boat, and it's all riches and stuff within the boat. But you have it where this group fails to actually acquire her key and capture her, because Sakamoto as well as Shin, they got involved and they managed to stop these guys. So you got this guy apologizing to the leader, saying like, "I'm sorry, some men jumped in that we don't know who they were. They managed to stop us from capturing Lou," and then he was apologizing. But then you have this scene right here, like this guy's about to apologize, and check this out right here. That's what I'm saying. The rating ain't M. I feel like this might be a little too much for some kids. Look at this scene. Like, this is crazy. Look at that. Like, yo, just clean took the head straight off. Now, granted, there isn't no blood, and maybe that's why they didn't have to make it rated M. I don't know if they did it for, no blood, so they wouldn't have to do the rating, or if it was something like to showcase how fast the slash was, that the blood wasn't able to flow out yet. I don't know. I don't know the reason why. But this scene was a bit devastating. Not only just the fact that he took off the head, but what they do next, man. What these assassins do next with the head after they slash it off. This kind of some stuff you'll see like in a rated R movie, man. Like, this dude about to pick up the head and play with it. Like, he's about to play with the head. Like, look at him. He's still trying to apologize to you, boss. Like, this is what this guy says. Is like, yo, he's still trying to talk to you and apologize for his screw up, boss. That's insane. Like, yo, look at how he's holding him. He's like, I'm stopping him from talking, boss. I'm stopping him from talking. Like, that's insane if you ask me, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like this is a crazy ass scene. And you have it where these two assassins are known for, taking people's heads and then trying to draw it, like, once they get home, like, try to, like, draw art and stuff with their heads. Like, once I seen this, I was like, and it's been a while since I read the beginning of Sakamoto Days, so for me, it still feels kind of new, even though it's not. It's a bit of a refresher, so to speak. But just seeing this scene right here, I'm just like, yo, man, that shit kind of raw right there. Like, that shit kind of cold. So I don't know how anyone could sleep on this. Now, I did watch this episode in sub and dub. So that would be my only gripe about it, is I'm not a fan of the voice actors for Lou and the voice actors for the two assassins. Now, I like their sub versions, but as far as their dub versions, I don't like I don't like whoever's portraying their voices. It kind of gives me like the old school, and maybe that's what they're going for, because the opening does feel old school. So that might be what they're trying to go for, like the the late 90s, early 2000s vibe when it comes to this anime. But their voices sound like old school dub, like where, it doesn't really match the person and their actions. Like, their voice doesn't seem like it would go with that person. That's the vibe I'm getting from the dub version. So when it comes to this episode, I do prefer the sub over the dub. Now, when it comes to the first episode, I like the dub just as much as I like the sub. I like the voice actor we got for Sakamoto. I like the voice actor we got for Shin. It's just in this episode, Lou and the two assassins, their voices, it just wasn't clicking with me. It was kind of irritating me. So that was my only gripe about this episode. But outside of the voice acting for the dub, everything else revolving around this episode was pretty good. One thing I will say, in this episode, we actually find out the reason Sakamoto gave up killing. He made a promise to his wife. That was her rule, like, for him to never kill. And one thing I could say about that moment is, I like how, when you think about it, you're going to be like, yo, someone's trying to take your life. Someone's trying to take your life. Why not take theirs? And that's the easy way to think about it. But you have this moment where the wife tries to prove to Sakamoto that killing is wrong. and she goes and she jumps off a building. She tries to end her life. Sakamoto saves her. And she says, like, yo, the reason you saved me is because how much I mean to you, how much better you feel that I make your life. Now, think about that. Everybody you take out has someone in their life that feels the same exact way about them as you feel about me. And just hearing that, I'm like, yo, damn. That's kind of deep right there. Like that's some deep stuff. So when she said that, I was like, yo, I get why Sakamoto would want to take out all the villains who trying to take his life. But after hearing what she said, like that's something that would convince you to give up your ways, and I could see why he's doing it. You have it where Shin was able to read Sakamoto's mind to actually, see what led him to actually follow, that led him to find out what the rules were in their marriage, and that's the number one rule. Of course, I think it was like 3 other rules. I'm not sure what the other rules were. I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they told us in this episode. Maybe we'll find later on. But I really like this concept. I really like how she broke it down and how she was able to show him why he shouldn't take the life of another person. And honestly, like, that's something where you could put that out in the world, man. Like, I feel like that's something that should be spreaded, just on how amazing that was. But we also have in this episode where Sakamoto and Shin, they decide to help, your girl Lou against these assassins, and they do it without killing them. But Sakamoto he pretty much demolished these guys. Like, he takes these guys down. And these guys were pretty badass. They were pretty dope. They were doing some dope techniques, but they just couldn't hang. They couldn't hang with Sakamoto. And what I really love about this show is how everyone is underestimating this guy because how he looked, and then they're surprised about the stuff that he actually does when the fighting goes down. I love that. That's one thing I like. And another thing I like is the interactions between Shin and Sakamoto. How whenever Shin does something that Sakamoto is kind of like irritated by, he'll instantly think in his mind of like taking Shin's life because Shin can read his mind. And it'll make Shin stop or freeze right there in his tracks because he's like, yo, why are you thinking this? You should not be thinking this. So I do like those interactions, but we have it where, like, here you go right here. This is the moment right here. He's thinking about killing Shin, and Shin just looking at him like, yo, can you please stop doing that? Stop doing it. But you have it where you see the treasures, the Liu family left in the vault, and you find out that each person from their family put something valuable in there, and you see that her father left her drink in there to drink with her when she became of age. So I like this episode. It was very wholesome, and at the same time, it was raw. It had some funny moments. I like Sakamoto Days in general because I feel like it's one of those shows that covers every category. You get your little bit of action, you get a little bit of drama, you get a little, a little laughter. Like, you get it all. You get a little heart-filled, moments. Like, you get it all in this episode. Well, in this series in general. But let me know y'all thoughts down below on this episode and how y'all felt about it. And I will catch you in the next one. I was about to say Sword Art Online, but Solo Leveling should be dropping in a few hours. And I will be doing a video on that as well. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.